Oh, Channel 5's got a new video. Oh, let's check it out. Shout out to Channel 5, bro. They be always doing the craziest shit. All right, here it is. Jesus Christ, 1.3 million views in 2 days. Kamala Harris election lost. Oh fuck, here we go, boys. Here we go. Here we go, live from the streets.
I'm definitely scared about like us turning into Nazi Germany.
Well, we're starting off with a banger, I guess. God damn, I'll go out on a limb with anyone that I know personally, because I can actually make this bet happen. We'll obviously have to go to Oklahoma to do it because we're in Texas, you know. But I'm willing to do that, and we'll make a bet. I guarantee you. I'll go out on a limb, you know. Say 100, 200, fuck it, $1,000. I'll bet $1,000. I'm not a betting man, but I will bet you that doesn't happen in the next 4 years. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that, but you know, everybody can, you know, they can have their own opinion, their own, you know, theory. It's a game theory. Looking at
it is about survival for a lot of people.
He doesn't stand for women. He doesn't stand for people of color. So honestly, I think Trump being president, it just means like the end of all of us having rights.
It's black people.
Now I can put myself in their shoes and I can see from their perspective. Especially with the fucking mainstream media, with the algorithms that pump out this shit, the amount of bullshit that's out there. And you could say this for the right wing, the left wing, whatever it might be, the middle, bro. I can, yeah, that's a realistic view to have, honestly. To some people, for sure.
White people, immigrants, that's all poor. That shit about everybody vote who was poor.
When was America ever great?
MAGA.
Debatable, you know what I'm saying? It's debatable. We're pretty, you know, compare us to other people. We're pretty good, yeah. I think not too bad, not too shabby, you know.
Folks want to turn the clock back on certain things that.
Come on, what we doing, man?
What we doing? That I'm not in support of. So
I feel like I have no words right now, to be honest. What are you thinking, sir?
I'm not the biggest
Was that Kyrie Irving?
Kamala Harris fan. I'm not a fan of her stances on Palestine and her history as a prosecutor. But I feel like even among black people, nobody was really that crazy about Kamala Harris. I know that a lot of my friends didn't vote because of that. They didn't vote because of the situation in Palestine. Yeah. But we can't afford a Trump presidency. So I'm nervous for what the future has to hold. But you know,
it doesn't mean that things can't get better. I think that people are moving in one direction despite the fact the government may be moving in another direction. Yeah. And I always have faith in the people because
there's still laws intact. Like, this is still democracy. Yeah.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Thank you. And I get it. It's election night and people are going to say some crazy shit. And the best thing about Channel 5 is they're in the shit, right? They're not here to cater. Obviously, they edit the videos down to make it entertaining, but I fucking love it, dude. I love it. It's very unbiased. It seems unbiased from everything I've seen. Channel 5 has been fucking awesome.
The world is not gonna go to an end.
No, it ain't gonna be the end of the world. It's gonna be the stop of the progression of some, and it's gonna be the spark of the progression of others that are already ahead.
Stop of the sun and the start of the progression of others that are ahead. Well, I feel like that's been already going on. Like, look at the Hawaii situation, right? Like, they're getting their land stolen right now from other countries. Like, ain't that shit kind of crazy? Like it's not even just like the powerful in America anymore. It's the powerful around the world. We're living in a globalist time where people are just buying up land all over the world. It's fucking crazy.
All right, we are at Howard University. It's a pretty prestigious.
Like, on that note, I'm not trying to fucking. I'm not gonna stop it after this. I'm sorry. But on that note, people are fucking. Other countries are buying land around military bases in America. That shit's wild.
HBCU here in Washington, D.C.
So historically black college, right,
Kamala.
just means historically black. It doesn't mean only black. Actually, historically black colleges are the only universities within the history of the U.S. that don't have a history of discriminating based on color, creed, culture. And it's really cool because it was founded by Union General Oliver Otis Howard.
Why does he look fucking familiar?
1867. It was the daughters of those Union soldiers who were white women who were the first students.
Yeah. And Kamala Harris was supposed to deliver what appeared to be like an address to the nation or a victory speech at the amphitheater.
That didn't happen, right?
Theater right here, but
You won't hear from the vice president tonight.
seems like everybody's walking away at the same time. She currently has I think, 210 electoral votes and Trump has 240, something like that. So spirits are pretty low.
Bro, that shit got close. It did, bro. I was watching, I think it was MSB, fuck, I don't fucking even know. CNN, one of the, it wasn't fucking Fox, I'll tell you that. I was watching one of the fucking unbiased, you know, quote unquote, news, and they were like, it was getting pretty close there. You know, Trump was ahead by like fucking damn near 80 votes, and then it got real close, but it was really just like, you know, the West Coast, obviously, you know, California's got like fucking 55 votes or some shit, 51, I don't know exactly. They got a fuck ton of votes, and then you got fucking Nevada and Oregon, Washington, all that shit. So yeah.
Oh, hopes are definitely dwindling. So we're gonna talk to a few people and see how they feel. And
they're walking
out.
The
speech.
It's not looking too hot right now. It's not over, but you know, it's just I don't.
It's over.
I feel like I want to go to school tomorrow. And we're both PhD students, so I wanted to work at the Department of Education. I
don't think that's gonna be around any longer. Yeah. Trump already came out and said he wanted to, you know, give that back to the states.
Republican push is to get rid of that.
And I'm going to close the Department of Education
and
move education back to the states.
Which could be a plus and a negative. You know, when you have, you know, certain states educating and, you know, regulating what kids are learning about, especially when it comes to like state history, and on top of that, you know, when it comes to like, you know, national history, and then, you know, you have your state's bias pushed into it, it kind of alters a little things, you know what I mean? So that'll be interesting to see, you know, how that, you know, affects the learning of the next generation, I guess. For at least the next 4 years. You know?
For the uninformed viewer, like, what's their motif behind, you know, taking away the elements of the Department of Education?
I think they think it's like a waste of money and resources.
What do you study, man?
I study U.S. history.
What's your favorite chapter of U.S. history?
Hell yeah.
I guess what most people consider like the Gilded Age and Progressive Era. So that's like between 1877 and like maybe like 1919, if I guess I had to periodize it.
So Reconstruction?
Well, Reconstruction is before that. That's 1865 to 77, and then the Gilded Age and Progressive Era is right after that.
And there was an era of terror inflicted after Reconstruction, wasn't there?
Yeah, so that's why I said it's known by most people as the Gilded Age and Progressive Era, but honestly, I study African American history. That's my specialty, and that's considered the nadir of American race relations, and that's like the darkest period of like race relations in American history.
Yeah, because the South Carolina State Senate was like what, half black in 1880.
Yeah,
people don't understand.
Reconstruction.
Damn, 1880. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And so what do you think is the most important element of U.S. history to teach young people, black or white?
I think it's that U.S. history is not centered around a bunch of great men like the presidents. You know, there's a lot more grassroots history, like history of the people, and, you know, it's not just, you know, say, like learning about, like, white people. It's, you know, everybody, Native Americans, African Americans, Asian Americans, Hispanic Americans, like, all those stories matter.
All of
like,
that.
you got to understand all of it, and you really won't know the history of the country if you're not familiar with any of it.
Great melting pot, baby.
I think that the slogan "Make America Great Again" calls into question, as it relates to people of African descent throughout the diaspora, when was America ever great? Yeah. Determine what was the time frame that you would.
When I think of making America great again, which he does have a point, in a way you could see his perspective for sure. But recently, just the insane culture that has popped up out of fucking nowhere. It's literally the culture of the left has been so dislodged. It's been so fucking crazy, in my opinion, in my perspective, that a lot of people that leaned left or considered being liberal are now like, they don't know where to go. They're like, we don't fuck with the right, but like, these motherfuckers are crazy as shit. There's a lot of people like that, and I have a lot of liberal leaning ideas and left or right leaning ideas. You know, I don't give a fuck about a certain party. I don't give a damn about a damn party. It's stupid, the party system. It's like, oh, okay, you pick right or you pick left, and you fucking just you say yes to fucking everything they say. That's not how it is, because look at the fucking parties nowadays. Them bitches ain't the same anymore. They've changed in the past, and they're changing before our eyes. But yeah, when you think of that slogan, "Make America Great Again," there's a lot of different interpretations for it, for sure. It's very catchy. But dude, I just think it's the overall culture, like in the last, I would say 7 years or so. It's just been fucking weird as shit. Just, I don't know, man.
To recollect that there was actually equal opportunity that was provided to all. And so I think if you're looking at the Reconstruction period, which was then followed by the Black Codes, whatever gains that occurred during the Reconstruction were eventually reversed.
You feel like America was great during Reconstruction?
I think that if you move a knife from 7 inches out of my back to 5 inches out of my back,
I just got goosebumps. That's a fucking dope ass quote.
And then consider that to be progress. I don't think that's actually progress. Progress is actually trying to heal the wound.
The reason that I continually bring up the Reconstruction period is because that was the last time the U.S. actually attempted to implement a federal reparations program, not like the Uhuru-style interpersonal $5 donation model.
Can I have $5?
Oh my God.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's dead serious. Bro, I fucking love this video.
Yes.
But administered by a governmental organization called the Freedmen's Bureau, which no longer exists. Reconstruction basically began the same day the Confederate Army lost the Civil War to the Union, giving the federal government control over the southern states, where approximately 4 million slaves had just been freed. The Freedmen's Bureau was tasked with helping them integrate into society as free men, which obviously would be quite difficult given the fact that none of them had any land or any possessions. So they began by giving the men voting rights and enacting their famous 40 acres and a mule allotment to newly emancipated slaves. By 1875, in states like South Carolina, there was actually a higher proportion of black lawmakers holding office than there is today. And for a moment, it looked as if things were heading in a positive direction. But then, a small group of former Confederate soldiers who had formed a social club in Tennessee had an idea. That idea was to target, terrorize, harass, lynch, and assassinate black politicians and anyone, black or white, who even considered voting for them. This group was called the KKK, whose plan was made possible during the...
Wait, that's how they started? What the fuck? I had no idea. That is crazy, bro. That is crazy. They straight up, bro. Holy fuck.
1876 primaries, during which, for whatever reason, the Freedmen's Bureau decided to withdraw troops from polling stations in the South, where they'd previously been protecting black voters from racial violence. The day the Bureau pulled the troops, the Klan put their plan into motion, and everyone knows what they did. I don't find it necessary to bring up individual
Jesus fucking Christ.
Instances of grotesque violence for a dramatic effect or anything like that. But it's important to note that the original purpose of the Klan was to terrify black voters into staying home during election day. And
well, it completely took the fucking the rebuilding area, like it completely fucking destroyed the progress they had. That is I didn't know about that. They might have taught that in fucking schools, but I don't remember hearing that shit at all.
To run black politicians out of town with threats of violence, and it worked. By the elections of 1878, there was almost no black voters in Georgia, despite them composing a third of the state's population. And it's been undoubtedly proven by now that the then Democrat parties in states like Mississippi and Louisiana actually hired the Klan to terrorize black voters.
Wait,
and so
what?
By 1880, Reconstruction was over. The Freedmen's Bureau had closed. Every state in the South was under neo-Confederate leadership, who swiftly passed something called the Black Codes, which limited black Americans' ability to own property, conduct business, own firearms, and travel freely. It also enforced strict sundown laws related to vagrancy, which set the foundation for chain gangs, forced labor camps, and the prison industrial complex. While the federal government was initially horrified at the unraveling of Reconstruction in the southern states, they would ultimately side with them in 1902.
This is such a different video than Channel 5 usually does. This is a lot more educational, which this is a cool vibe, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I did not expect to get a history lesson from Kamala's defeat, but fuck yeah.
Plessy versus Ferguson.
Why not?
Defending segregation under the dubious separate but equal premise. The following 60-plus years are referred to as the Jim Crow era, which officially ended in 1964 when the Civil Rights Act was passed.
This Civil Rights Act is a challenge to all of us to eliminate the last vestiges of injustice in our beloved country.
For some perspective, that means that the average current 22-year-old black American's grandmother or grandfather was in 8th grade when Jim Crow formally ended in '64. So the legacy of Jim Crow and the unkept promise of Reconstruction is still something that's very much alive.
And the destruction of different levels of what we consider successful black towns and cities, in which they use the highway bill to be able to cut through and destroy those particular communities.
You believe in modern reparations?
I definitely believe in reparations. I think that it's something that's owed, just as there's been reparations paid to other groups, whether it be the Japanese who were interned during World War II, whether it be levels of monies that were provided to people who are...
The most current one I think is fucking Hawaii, bro. They got $700 each for their fucking houses being burnt down at Lahaina. That shit is fucking crazy, bro. And the only reason I fucking like in thinking about this because I saw a fucking clip of fucking Joe Rogan and fucking what's his face, the one dude with the mullet, the comedian guy, can't remember his name. But dude, this shit's fucking wild. This shit just like came and went. It's crazy the amount of stories that have come, like so many tragedies have like came and went. The fucking hurricanes came and went. It's fucking crazy how the news cycle moves, man.
Or a Jewish during the Holocaust. I think there's always a need to provide some level of reparation when harm has been done. The question would be, what might be the right way and process to do that?
Well, I mean, if it was to be distributed on an individual level, that calls into question also financial literacy among the recipients. Because
I think that it was done systemically, and so you need a systemic policy to address systemic racism and discrimination.
Yes, would that look like more educational investment?
I think education investment would definitely be a key component of it, but I think that we're at this particular juncture, there's additional levels of discussions that is still being ongoing about the fact that it's needed. And to me, unequivocally, it is not only needed, but it is owed. And subsequently, we just have to get to a place to be able to figure out what might be the best ways to be able to implement it.
Yeah, I agree, man. I appreciate you. You're from the South or the East Coast?
Pardon me?
From the South?
From the East Coast.
Okay, great.
What's your name?
Andrew Callaghan.
Give me a thing.
It's and just like if you look up Channel 5.
Give me a second. I'll have you write it down.
Yeah.
How about that?
What's up, guys? Here at Channel 5, we want you to be safe, whether it be on the streets of Washington, D.C. during the election, or just surfing the web from your phone or on the computer. That's why we use NordVPN. NordVPN allows you to set your IP address to any country on Earth.
Yes, it does.
And we know that in many countries, the government controls the flow of information on the internet.
They do.
So you can set your
Found
IP
that out
address
with
to
Twitter.
various countries throughout the world,
Good old
such
Twitter
as
files.
Venezuela, or Poland, or Argentina, or El Salvador, or South Africa, or Kazakhstan. And you can see what it's like to surf the web as the person who lives in that country and is inside their data chamber.
And you get to watch TV shows from other countries too. Fucking cool.
Boom, you're in there. NordVPN does so many things, but one of my favorite features they have is their threat protection, which allows you to safeguard your personal files and make sure they don't get taken.
I personally use Surfshark, but I do recommend everyone get a VPN. We're in an age where hacking is fucking crazy. Like an old company I used to work got hacked again just recently. And they when I worked there, they got hacked like 3 times. It's fucking wild, bro.
By sketchy hackers and people who distribute malware and try to trick you out your hard drive files. And I have more great news. NordVPN's having a massive Black Friday sale. So if you want to use my 2-year plan,
there it is. There's the code, baby. Go get it.
And guess what? If you don't like it, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Again, just go to www.nordvpn.com.
Comment down below if you've ever had returned something in 30 days. I've never anything online. Not once. If it's online purchased, I'm not returning that shit unless it's like some huge purchase, right?
.com/channel5. I'm gonna put the link in the description and a pinned comment. All right, guys.
Back to the video.
To the streets. As I walked through the Kamala Harris rally, most people had accepted that she probably wouldn't win the presidency.
I'm really disappointed because I didn't have enough time to register because Texas, you have to register 3 weeks before. So I had to vote as a DC resident.
But still.
What?
Some people held on to a sliver of hope.
Hey, we're coming back. We're down 20. We're down 20.
Some people held on.
I thought they said Fortnite. Because she had the Fortnite
map.
Of
hope.
Hey, we're coming back. We're down 20. We're down 20.
Oh, the boy got the fucking tequila.
Look.
Hell yeah.
Kamala, she needs to win Wisconsin,
my parlay's still
Pennsylvania, Georgia.
My parlay still alive. It's crazy because there's actually didn't XQC lose $700,000 because he thought Kamala Harris was gonna win, and I'm pretty sure he went off a limb just because of fucking what's that guy's name that his girlfriend fucks around with a lot of guys? Fuck. Dana? No, not Dana. I forgot.
In maybe Michigan, and
Destiny,
we're in there.
Destiny.
Nobody give no fuck about Nevada or AZ.
Fuck Arizona.
You should definitely get those too, but they
Fuck
didn't.
all that shit. We respect the people out there, but this is what matters. It's about what matters right now. We've been out here stressing all night.
We need
this. The second bottle tonight. We out here. But look, I don't enjoy.
How do people drink liquor straight? That is crazy. Just straight from a bottle, you just chip, but never. I'll take shots, But I don't know about like just straight liquor the whole night, man. That's
Wait, what Trump
wild.
did to the Central Five?
He spent $85,000 on a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for our execution.
Any three
Okay.
of us could have been the Central Five, and man, if that's how you gonna represent a large portion of America, I can't get behind that because that's the demographic that I'm a part of.
So you feel like on a moral character level, he's just bogus?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Everything Trump
I can get behind that, right? But Kamala Harris, when we're talking about bogus, is at a whole nother level, in my opinion, because at least Donald is being authentically Donald. He is him. Like, not in, okay, I didn't mean to say it like that, but he is truly being himself. That's why he went on fucking Joe Rogan. And he didn't go on Shannon Sharp's podcast and have it fucking edited down all the way down. It's just fucking crazy. Dude, the difference, no, it's huge difference. Kamala literally went on Shannon Sharp's podcast. And I love Shannon Sharp. He does an amazing podcast with the Club Shay Shay. But she toasted a drink to the watchers, the people watching, to Shannon Sharp with his drink. It's not a whiskey, it's not a bourbon. Fuck it, cognac, with the cognac, right? Toasted everybody and didn't drink the drink. And it was just this little bitty sauce at the bottom of her cup. Didn't even sip it, bro. That is so wild.
stands for. He doesn't.
And you know she be drinking wine like a motherfucking wino. Come on now, what are we doing?
Stand for women. He doesn't stand for people of color. So honestly, I think Trump being president, it just means like the end of all of us having rights and being seen as human beings. And I feel like with Harris as president, she like her goal is to see everyone as people and help everyone. When it
How is she gonna help everyone?
comes to voting for the president, right? You're voting for someone who's going to select the heads of the Department of Agriculture, the Department of Commerce.
Yeah.
And I, believe that, especially with her, she would choose more qualified individuals.
I think as we get even closer and closer to like the end of the timeline and within which we can change the effects of climate change, another 4 years of Trump as president would be horrible for that. It would be horrible for the Middle East. It would be horrible for women's rights, for...
What's been going on in the Middle East right now? Do people not remember who the president and the vice president are currently? It's like Trump's not in office right now. Like, yeah, he got elected, but the motherfucker doesn't get technically in office until fucking January where they hand it over. Oh my god.
Protection for the LGBTQI. I don't think a Harris presidency would be perfect, but I think in every way possible it would be better than Trump.
And that's the whole issue. I feel like even among black people, nobody was really that crazy about Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
But
nobody. I know so many black. Okay, I'm not gonna say it like that. My black friends. I don't know one of them that wanted Kamala to be president. I don't. All the rest of them. Everyone I've talked to supported Trump or was leaning towards Trump in a way. And I'm sure there's a lot of my friends that are black that want Kamala in. I haven't talked to them about it because honestly we're grown fucking adults and we don't see each other fucking every day at recess anymore. And to their, they can have their choice, they have their vote and everything. I respect it. Everyone's got their own perspective. But dude, I don't see that. I don't see it.
But it was just the fact that she was not Trump. And at the end of the day, you can't really run on being not Trump. You have to.
Okay, and then to play devil's advocate, to his point, Kamala was literally just pushed forward as the president elect, or the Democratic elect, the representative of the Democratic Party. She didn't go through a primary, so that's a lot worse in my opinion than what Donald did.
Be more than that. You do have to do more for everybody, not just black people, but everybody in general. Class issues matter a lot more, and people don't talk about class issues. People don't talk about imperialism. There's a lot of stuff that people don't talk about, and they focus on the culture wars, but the culture is still very important. Me coming from like a Caribbean community, I'm really worried about like how people are going to attack the Haitian community going forward. I really don't like it. The cats and dogs shit is bullshit. We all know it's lies.
That shit was cap. That shit was so cap. Oh my god. That shit was, whew. that shit came and went. It's just a little headline that people can mention now.
But regardless of who would have won, our country still would have been in crisis, and especially what's going on abroad in Palestine, in the Middle East, things would have not have been all well and good. But at the same time, with a Trump presidency, it makes it so much worse. But like I said, if Kamala had won,
I think it doesn't make it worse. I think he can end the situation in Ukraine pretty quickly, compared to what Kamala would be able to do. My issue is with what's going on in the Middle East for sure. And I've talked to some people and said they think it's gonna be all right. But at the end of the day, we're funding Israel. We're funding the war. Matter you hate it or not, you know, a lot of people consider it the Holy Land. It's very unique for the situation that obviously after World War II, you know, they kind of created the country and everything. The UN, which I think is the only time that ever happened. I could be wrong. There could be another one that's just you know, not really on my radar because of the times that we're in. But you know, it is a weird situation for sure. But yeah, I don't think Kamala or Trump are going to be, you know, expertly, like, you know, very qualified at handling this situation, because at the end of the day, I don't think it's really our business. But it seems like they just want to have a presence in the Middle East, to say the least. You know,
and it still not would have been like an amazing outcome.
How much do you think the Biden administration's policy on Israel affected the current outcome today?
I definitely think that Kamala Harris capitulating to right-wing framework on issues is really what alienated people like the people that we know who were just.
Yeah, Kamala literally copied Trump so many times throughout this process. It was fucking crazy. The no tax on tips. There's a couple others I can't remember right now. But it was hilarious to see too. Also, Trump talk about how she was stealing all his shit. It was wild. And then she was also catering to like right-wing people, talking about her Glock and a bunch of stuff. Like it was like she was trying to, anything Trump did, she wanted to somehow spin it at her own benefit as well. Which I think could work in a way, but you had to have a strong presence to begin with, and she really didn't, in my opinion. The only time she had a strong presence was when she was first announced, and after that it just kind of fell apart, right?
It's like, absolutely not. I'm not gonna, like, what are you talking about? You're gonna finish the wall. Like, it just doesn't make sense. What are you talking about? We have to tolerate lower grocery prices for a genocide in Palestine.
I know that a lot of my friends didn't vote because of the situation in Palestine. I personally think it was still worth it to vote.
Facts. Trump presidency's nothing good, bro.
You hear it first. You heard her.
Channel 5 News. Channel 55. We don't fuck with custers.
So funny. This was a great video. It's cool to see the insight behind like the people actually at the you know, gathering to hear Kamala's speech that never came. You know, what could have been, you know, who knows. But we got 4 more years of amazing content with the big old orange carrot man. Can't wait to see some clips of him. But let's check out these comment sections below. You know, shit got real serious when no randos started freestyling on Channel 5 for real. Where was the freestyle at? I'm the US history PhD student in this video. Oh boy. Props to Andrew for consistently asking the right questions and also knowing his history. Yeah, I think that was a part that was interesting because Andrew usually stays pretty quiet in this video. He did seem like he was like letting it flow a little bit more naturally with his commentary, you know, his just his overall conversations, which was nice to hear from, because usually he's just asking simple questions that are the right questions to ask. Which gets them all riled up and lets them speak their mind, you know, put a microphone in front of a village idiot. Not in this video, you know, there's seemed like a lot of smart people. There was some people making some crazy claims, but, you know, emotions are high on election night, you know, and just imagine being in a space like that where you're expecting, you know, the next president of the United States to come out and give you a speech, and bro. So yeah, emotions were high. So I don't blame anyone for making crazy statements like the Empire shit, whatever. The Germany shit. I think we should prioritize having civics courses and education systems. Damn history nerds bringing their A game. Andrew included. Love it. Yeah, that was actually a really cool part to see. Yeah, especially with like some PhD students like that. Dude showing out. But that's the video. If you like the video, never heard of Channel 5, go check them out. Tell them Trey Swish sent you. Go give it a like. It deserves it. 49k likes is not enough with 1.3 million views. That's crazy. There's probably a lot of dislikes just because of the title in general. But they really wasn't that crazy in my opinion. But yeah, that's the video. My name is Trey Swish. Thank you for watching the Ether. There should be some videos popping up around my face. Click on one of those, they're probably good. And then also, if those don't look good, check out the channel. There's a lot of topics that we talk about here, and you can always comment down below and let me know what you want me to talk about or check out. So yep, it's been real nice, and I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.